Welcome back to Tactics with Puddnhead, everybody. I'm joined this week by Sharkbait,
Hello.
and this is a follow-up to the book building video that we did last week, where we built in Sistarran Wizard with a frost focus. I've showed the book here at the bottom of the screen for you. If you did not get a chance to watch the building of this book, you are free to go do that now and then come back. But I'm going to hide this book for the rest of the game so that everybody can see what's going on. All right, here we go. So I'm playing against Zot and his an alt force master. I have played against an alt force master from Zot before, and he's going to do some similar stuff this game, and I'm going to expect it to be the same book, but it's not. So that's what's going through my head right now is alt force master. I need him to go first so I can see whether I should move or not. And of course, he plays a thought spore. The last time he played a thought spore on me was a sleep spore. And that is going to be really bad for my book because I have two very large creatures that are very important and they can be affected by sleep. I don't want to have to hit them to wake them up. So,
I start carrying clear mind.
yeah, I'm going to have to start carrying clear mind. So,
And you can cast as an enchantment, although that might be corporeal creature. I'm not really sure. Is it one of the? Is it big incorporeals or big
I don't
corporeals for
know.
this
I
week?
don't even remember. Well, so we're gonna this week go over this game, and then we're gonna go over a second game that I played against Appmaster, and you'll get to see a couple of things that we're gonna talk about here. So this wizard is gonna need a lot of mana, so I've chosen to start with 2 crystals, and now I could drop one of my big creatures and get an enchantment on myself or on a big creature. I don't remember what I'm doing this turn. I'm just going to set myself up for having even more mana and being able to respond to this Thought Spore with Hawkeye.
All the mana.
Yeah, I like having mana. If you can get away with it, having more mana is good. If you can't get away with it, you need to have a backup plan.
He's not immediately seeming to press you either, so you got some time to set up some
No,
mana.
I mean, what I'm expecting is at some point he's going to drop a Mind's Eye, and then these guys are going to come into play. So I don't know what's on them.
It's fair.
Sleep Spell was there. Could be the alt wizard. There could easily be a Seeking Dispel on one of these guys, which would be real unfortunate.
Yeah. You've got some tools in school for the wizard too to deal with the mind's eye though, so it's not necessarily the end of the world if
Yeah, I could just
that does happen.
arc lightning it or something a couple times.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I have some of those in here. After playing that Elementalist game where I had a lot of good power out of an arc lightning, I've learned to respect that card a little bit more.
Yeah, it's it doesn't look like much upon first glance, but it's pretty solid in the right hands.
I just wish there was a 4-cost lightning spell.
Yeah, it's fair.
But that stun chance is just so useful that it can't really cost 4.
Well, it can. You just get like a 12 plus, so that it wouldn't really be as useful as you'd like to be.
So at this point, I need to figure out if he's going to try and sleep one of my creatures if I drop it. And I need to be able to drop it last. So I think I'm going to cast a creature this turn. Yep, I'm going to cast Stormfront Elemental and Rhino Hide on myself, just in case he's got attack spells coming.
I love Stormfront.
And the goal being next turn, I will be able to Temporal Aid Stormfront Elemental and then use my wizard ability to make it fast. And I can go kill, or at least attempt to kill, one of these Thought Spores before it puts Storm Elemental to sleep. So that's the plan.
Sweet.
But I need to figure out which one that is. So yeah.
That's true. You need to do it first.
Yeah. Or just kill them with Extreme Prejudice, which, there's the Mind's Eye.
Yeah, you can just kill both. That's fine.
And he chooses to put the Mind's Eye there, which is very interesting to me. It tells me that he's not necessarily interested in using Mind's Eye offensively, um, or he's afraid that I'm just going to lightning bolt it out of the sky as soon as it shows up, because Thought Spore equals Mind's Eye when pretty much all the time.
In
So,
either case, he thinks that you need to react to what he's doing, so you'll have to move closer. And so
yeah,
that's what the Mind's Eye, I believe, is attempting to prepare for.
right. So he doesn't need to put it out here. I was going to see if during the upkeep he decided to put it out here, but he does not. So, yep. And this is a wizard, right? So, and there wasn't a gate, so maybe he wasn't expecting that I would have a lot of creatures, so he didn't put a sleep spell on them.
Yeah.
Or maybe he was expecting psychic immune creatures, because jelly's psychic immune, right?
I believe so. I want to say
So
yes. But
either
I don't
way, he's
remember off
gotten
the top
some
of my
armor on
head.
himself, which is a good choice here. There's temporal aid, which does not attach at the time of this recording.
Oh, shit. Yeah, good point.
Love
Stupid
you, Sharkbait.
target bars.
So I use my main action to do that because he cannot use his Thought Spore to put it to sleep at this point. So he's either going to use his mage right now, and then I'll get to move away from this bottom Thought Spore and attack the top one, or I'll get. And he plays Ludwig Boltstorm, so
That's an
me moving forward
interesting
would have been a
play
really
here,
bad
but
idea.
well, I don't know about that. Like a triple strike non-ethereal attack isn't going to do that much.
It's still 9 dice.
Yeah,
All right,
which
this
is
is
going to
where
average
I
up to what,
make
3
this
damage
guy
total?
fast, and then I'm going to reveal temporal aid on him.
See, I don't think it even matters to you. Just move forward and you're going to do a thing anyway.
No, I'm going to move up here so I
That's
can
fair.
attack that. And this way I
You
save
also,
my
yeah,
mana.
you also wouldn't be in range.
And that is an amazing roll that
Ooh,
uh,
that's right.
that killed that. And apparently it had a repulse on it, which was very weird.
That's an understatement.
So I was like, well, I got the wrong guy. Repulse wasn't going to do much to me. So, but at this point, I don't think I've really understood what repulse on a thought spore meant.
I'm trying to figure that
Um,
out right now too, because
yeah, I
as
mean, it
those who've
becomes
read the
clear
chat, yeah.
later.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it becomes clear later what he was planning to do with the repulse. But
I only vaguely
um,
remember.
yeah.
As I
So the other
mentioned in chat,
spell
I
I had
may not have
prepared
been all
was
the way here.
Frost Trap, so that if he did move a Thought Spore forward, I could just move this guy one space and shoot it, and then kill it with a Frost Trap for the next turn. So
That's a
he
fair
did
point
not move
too.
any closer, but so I didn't do that.
I kind of figured he'd start moving the Mind's Eye at some point, but
Yeah. Well, he chooses not to move it again, which is
yeah.
really weird to me. Um, so I don't know what he's planning to do with the Mind's Eye, but I can just make my guy fast and move him down here again and shoot this guy. So I'm planning to use only one of these spells. Acid Ball if he gets close enough to me, or if I can get away with an enchantment on him. I might be probing for whatever this is. And then Elemental Wand for shenanigans later. The other thing I could do is I could just move forward with Stormy and shoot Ludwig. Actually, I think, yeah, he's got 2 armor. I think the Acid Ball might be for Ludwig Boltstorm, because I've got Hawkeye on. So that'll be a 3 dice. 3 dice maybe get some crit damage in there, and then a couple of corrodes. And that'll make it much easier for Stormfront Elemental to kill Ludwig.
I don't know. Yeah, Ludwig's an interesting one to me. I feel like he's a little bit overmatched and is going to be asked to do a little too much.
Well, I don't know what else he's planning to do with. So he moves up. He casts a steep hill. So the repulse is for getting people off of his hill.
I still don't know that I do that with a Thought Spore. That's, I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
So, and he enchants the Thought Spore there. And so now the hill blocks line of sight to Ludwig for me. So I can't attack Ludwig with my wizard. I can still do it with Stormfront Elemental. He's asking me some questions about how it works, if I remember correctly. So we figured that out. Now I have to figure out what to do. So I decided to enchant the Force Master with Acid Ball.
Such a funny sentence.
Yeah. Because I don't want to get any closer to any of his stuff at this point. I don't know if this is going to have a force push on it and he's going to push Ludwig up the hill or whatever. So,
mm-hmm.
And then he chooses to use the Thought Spore, and I'm just like, all right, whatever. And then he decides he's going to move it in there, guard, which is too tempting for me. It's too tempting.
Way too tempting. Can't pass that up.
So I go in here and I'm flying so I can see over the hill. He reverse attacks me. So I take 3 damage from my own attack. Thankfully, no dazes. But that would have done 5 damage to that Thought Spore. That would have been almost a dead Thought Spore.
It would have been dead at some point because the frost traps that you have planned.
Yeah. Only has 7 health. So I was like, now he's got reverse attack. So I bet that both the Force Master and Ludwig have something to that effect on them. Right? Because if he's done it once, he has the potential and might do it again. So
yeah,
I'm
it
going to
doesn't
give
necessarily mean
myself
he's
an elemental
going
wand.
to, though.
And I forget what I put on this thing. Surging Wave. That's right. Put Surging Wave on here because it's unavoidable. And because I can use it to push people off of hills.
Multi-purpose.
Yeah. So right now, it's not like I have command of the situation, but I'm not really struggling either. I
It's
can
an
get out what I
understanding.
want. I can do slow things. I don't have to react to stuff. Right now, I can put out threats. And I believe I Surging Wave this turn. Got 26 mana. At some point, I need to get the Wind Elemental out here. I'm going to keep enchanting the Force Master and be able to Frost Trap Ludwig if I can get enough damage on him. So a very important thing to note is that your special ability to enchant things with attack spells does not take into effect any buffs you have on your mage at this point.
Right.
That's under discussion, but currently it does not take that into effect. I wouldn't be
surprised if it stayed that way. But
yeah, no, it seems likely that it will stay that way. But this Hawkeye is only for when I shoot something. Temporal Aid on Stormfront Elemental has been a pretty staple play in this book. I've played a
I
few
think
games with it
it
now. This is the
elementals one
first one
time.
that you guys are all seeing. The book is unchanged from the book building video. I do make some changes after this because I realized that when building the book, I didn't put any Seeking Dispels in here, so I had to
Oh
find ways
no.
around all of these enchantments. But so he Tanglevines Ludwig, which makes sense when you remember the repulse, right?
It does, but now that the repulse isn't there, does it? I guess a surging wave could have mattered.
Yeah, it keeps me from pushing anybody off, right?
True, but it does. I mean, it just makes it daze instead.
So I roll 4 dice
And it
because I
looks like
reveal Hawkeye.
it looks like that was a block that was on him, not a reverse attack.
So I'm going to move away from Ludwig and shoot him.
Excuse me.
And then, yeah,
Yeah, Ludwig's 2/3 dead already.
yep. Because I've thrown 2 attack spells at him, basically. So this is where we find out what's on here, and it's a cure. So I'm all of a sudden like, oh, well, that's not a threat at all.
Time to ignore it.
Well, the other thing being, I'm planning to corrode him, and I'm planning to freeze him. So cure might actually be detrimental to my strategy, but it's not a threat. So first
Well,
order
yeah,
of
that's what I mean.
business is to kill Ludwig. And I move closer so that I can actually beam of frost him and hope that I get the freezes. And I do get the freezes, and that's just enough to kill him. So he is going to give himself some
I don't
gloves.
think cure will work fast enough. Um, I don't think cure will work fast enough to stop your strategy either way, right?
Right. Well, I mean, if I do it all at once, right? If he manages to delay some of it or dispel some of it or something like that, then
True. There's just
it's going to take longer.
not a lot of threats on the board that'll delay what you're doing.
So this is the
Yeah,
second time I've prepared Frost Trap and not used it. Which,
It's killed him too fast.
yeah. But man, having a wand around is just so good.
It's very helpful.
Yeah, which is why people destroy them quickly.
Usually.
Yeah. So I have 27 mana again, and I am planning to cast Wind Elementals so that I can get my wizard up on that hill and get the +1 to range attacks.
The Airbus.
Yeah. All right, so he's got Hawkeye, and he's got Gloves of Skill, and he's casting Lunarian Longbow, and he's going to try and shoot my Storm Elemental, I think.
Seems odd. Odd
Or maybe my
choice
wizard.
for me.
So he re-rolls his Gloves of Skill and gets less, which is awful. So I take 1 less damage from Rhino Hide, or because of Rhino Hide. I choose to reveal Rhino Hide there. And I move to kill the Spore. I stun it, which is
Does a
great for
ton of
me.
damage.
Yeah, Storm Elemental is doing a lot of work this game. A lot of work this game. So I feel pretty handily in command of the game at this point after dropping Wind Elemental. So I'm just going to press the advantage, kill the things that he has. I think I'm going to destroy the Liverian Longbow next turn. And of course, Cone of Frost goes on. Mage. Got 2 enchantments on the enemy mage. So it's my initiative now. And I think my plan is to shoot the Thought Spore first with Storm Elemental. Just use him to get all the little things out of the way. And then I'm going to move my I don't remember. Maybe I moved my mage up there first. Maybe I moved my mage up there first. Because then he can't shoot me. Things that you think about. What am I going to do? How am I going to get around the damage potential that he does have? Which is a Severium Longbow is doing 5 damage reroll, piercing 1. So not too bad.
Not bad, but I'm going to point out that you also have a large amount of damage on the field. Or damage
Right, but
potential on the
my
field.
wizard only has 29 health left, which
Fair.
is not nothing. But
It's not nothing, but you have 2
you can
different 4
shoot.
dice attacks
He
on
can
top
hurl a
of your
boulder and
wand
shoot a
and the thing.
thing at me, and all of a sudden I'm half dead. So
Sure. I'm just saying you can zap, you can punch, and you're airbusting yourself up there, so you have an acid ball on top of whatever else you enchanted him with. Like, you have a large damage potential stacked up here too. So
yeah. So he has put an enchantment down here in this zone, and I'm going to crumble with my main action here, his bow, so that he can't really do any damage to me this turn. And I have correctly ascertained that that is a teleport trap because of the repulse earlier. He wants everything to stay off of his hill. So, yeah.
I believe he called you a
And I
dirtbag
forget.
at this point.
And then he makes an autonomous Gravicore, Heart of Gravicore.
Autonomous hammer.
Yep, so that he can throw it at me, which I think this is a great idea. This is fun. But it doesn't get the +1 from the hill, and it doesn't get the +1 from Hawkeye. So he has to manually roll the dice, I think. And Rhinohide stops it because Heart of Gravicore was not very strong this time around. That was no Mjolnir throw.
It didn't believe in the heart of the cards.
Yeah, that's right. So I don't have to worry about anything because that Thought Spore can't do anything to me. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my quick cast. I have Fist of Lightning. I decided that this is actually a dumb card for me because I can just punch something for three dice and not have to spend the mana. So he teleports the mage because we both come in here at the same time, right? So, and then I tell him, all right, well, I made this guy fast with my action. So he came up the hill. He teleported me away, but then I pulled him off of his hill.
Super confusing, but funny.
Yeah. And he gets a few damage in, which is great. I realized that I should have revealed Acid Ball before all that happened, but I didn't. He's going to run away.
Hindsight.
Storm Elemental is going to just take care of that. No, I think he's just like, he's too far away. So we're going to
He's too far away to matter.
And
Still
we
got
get
a good
nothing.
roll.
We got a stun, or we got a daze.
Yeah.
If I had done the Acid Ball thing, he would have taken 2 damage there.
True, but the daze is still helpful.
Yep. Doesn't stop the hammer, but that's okay.
Stop. Hammer time.
That's right. Hammer time. All right, so I'm feeling really good about this game at this point. So I'm just like, I could sit here and just throw lightning bolts and hit the mage, but I kind of want to see if what I want to do works. So I'm going to start enchanting him with stuff. I'm going to start healing myself from the incidental damage that the hammer does. And yeah, so that's the plan. To enchant up the mage and keep myself from being as vulnerable. Because I've definitely turned games around and I've lost a creature war by just throwing a bunch of attack spells. So if I can make it so that throwing attack spells doesn't work, that's helpful. Just He's taking a long time to think about this here. He has a few tricks up his sleeve. That crusty old wizard. Sat. He's got a lot of tricks. So I'm going to try and preemptively prevent myself from taking a lot of damage from the. All right. Oops, I'm going too fast here now. All right. So what happened is I'm trying to protect myself from a preemptive hit with an attack spell. Then he cures himself with the Thought Spore. And then I kill the Thought Spore. And now he's going to come up here and fly and whack my elemental with the 4 dice attack.
The mighty bash.
The mighty bash.
Probably not registering that he can fly, so you know.
Yeah, he's gonna roll 4 dice, I think, manually. And my wizard is perfectly happy. He rolled 3 dice. I think I told him he should have rolled 4. He's keeping himself from moving with his eagle claw boots. Oh no, he attacked with his punch. And now he's going to attack.
Or now he's going to throw it. Yeah.
Now he's going to hit it. We have a discussion here. You don't actually end your activation and stop flying until after all the things that you do on your activation are done. So you can actually hit with the hammer at the end of your turn. So that's 3 more damage. Stormy's going down. Slowly but surely. Go over and enchant him. And now I remember to use Acid Ball. And I get a wickedly good roll with the Acid Ball. 2 damage and 2 corrodes. Then I come up here with the Wind Elemental to whack him for some damage. And that would be a push, but of course, you can't push him because he's got eagle claw boots on. But 4 damage is not bad. 4 damage on 4 dice. So I've only done 6 damage to him at this point, which is not much, I'll be honest. I need to start ramping up the damage.
That's stuck. Because you did some more and he healed it with the cure.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's done, done a couple of
You've
cures.
done a bit of damage to him, and at this point, you've got pretty strong control, even if he does eliminate Stormy, who has done a lot of work this game. I think you're in a pretty good spot.
Well, I have initiative here, so I think I'm just thinking that I will, I'll see if Stormy survives, and then I'll move him and shoot, and we'll see if he actually, I might move him 2 spaces, actually, I don't remember. Because the nullify is to keep him from dispelling the stuff that's on him. So I know that Zot likes purge magic, as people should like purge magic. So I want to make sure
it is a game saver on many occasions.
Yeah.
Just wait until everybody hears how often they run destroy too.
All right, so he's going to invisible fist Stormy, and that is a very good roll. So that's
a good one.
It's going to knock Stormy out.
Yep, that's 5 damage to him.
So,
pretty good.
Now temporal aid acts on its own. Oh, no, never mind. So he's gotten rid of a big threat, so that's good for him.
Yep.
So I decided I'm going to enchant him some more with the nullify, of course.
And then punch him.
And do some hitting while the good ones get.
Well, what?
I don't know. I did a thing. So here's his next trick: is Muktari in his zone to keep him from.
A lot of attempted passive healing, at least.
Yeah. And now
that plus if your bot, it'd be one thing, but.
All right, so he hit Wind Elemental for 1 damage, and I enchant him again with Frost Trap. So I'm setting up the damage here, and I'm gonna drop Frozen Tundra next turn, and what I haven't considered is that Steep Hill is a terrain, which means in order to put a Tundra in there, I have to pay 8 extra mana to get rid of the Steep Hill first.
That's
so
a point.
That puts a wrench in what my plans are for this next turn. What I
It
did
slows
notice,
him
though,
down. That's all.
Yeah, what I did notice though is that Cone of Frost can hit the tree and the mage, right? And if the tree has frost conditions on it, or freeze conditions on it, the Frozen Tundra will do 2 damage to the tree every turn, negating its regenerate.
Oh, that's pretty good, yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm thinking, is I'll just incidentally kill the tree while preventing him from doing damage. And there he goes, blocking my line of sight like a jerk.
Like a jerk.
It's this next trick that he has. Those Force Masters. Seriously. And he's got more
doing a good
invisible
job of
fists.
handling the threats that you have.
Yep. Oh, he is. Frost Trap comes online after he does that, so...
Excuse me.
We're looking for freeze conditions because they're not on the quick list.
It's going to take him a while, and...
Yeah.
It's going to both take him a while, and it's going to take him a lot of mana to kind of counter what you have here while you're just sitting there beating him down.
Yeah, well, he's got to weather the storm and get rid of my threats. What he doesn't realize... Oh, man, he rerolls again and gets worse damage. Or Zod. And now he's going to use the hammer, I think. He's going to throw the hammer because he didn't fly, so that he could get the +1 for Invisible Fist.
Yeah.
Right, so I whiff with the Wind Elemental because of the days, and the Frozen Tundra is so important to me that I decide I'm just going to move 2 and stick it on there. And this is where I realize that I have to pay 8 extra mana.
Yeah, after you only have 5 left.
Right. No, I had 13 left. But I was going to reveal all this. I was going to reveal all this stuff. So, so we're going to do the mage first, and we get nothing. And then we're going to do the tree second, and we get the 2 freezes on the tree, which is nice.
I mean, the tree can't activate, so that's nice.
Yeah, which means it can never lose freeze unless you hit it with a fire attack,
so
which is
sitting at
a silly idea.
Which I think it does regenerate, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's going to be at 2 damage forever now.
I guess for being deciduous in a frozen tundra.
Yeah. So now I need to have the mana to get some stuff done here. I need to save up mana.
They should have made a pine tree. That would have resisted frost.
There you go. So I only have 12 mana to do things with this turn. I want to Frost Trap, and I want to reveal Beam of Frost. I think I'm actually going to cast Cone of Frost, though. So see if I can get more on the tree here.
I keep trying to hover over the cards as if I'm in the game. I forgot what cards were on him at the moment. I just keep noticing myself doing it like I'm in the game. I'm like, oh,
yeah, I do that actually when I'm watching videos online too. Like, what is that? What is that? Oh man, video.
It's just a funny habit.
And this is kind of where my mana is pulling ahead here, right? So he's got 9 mana. I've got 12. And I've been paying upkeep every round. But these 3 mana fixers here are really doing work for me this game.
Absolutely offsetting. Not offsetting. Giving you advantage is probably also the wrong word, but like keeping you in the game because of the amount of mana you need for it.
So we're getting 6 more damage on Wind Elemental here, which is not great for me. But, I mean, he's there to do damage, so I'm just going to keep on swinging with him until he's dead. So he serves me. I don't serve him. I'm a heartless wizard.
That's fine. Ooh, big punch.
Yeah, he gets 6 damage in. Good job, Wind Elemental.
You serve me. Remember that.
Now he's going to finish it off with. Gonna, all right, yep, he finishes it off with the punch. And he's going to throw his hammer at me. And then he's going to remove his freeze because he just acted. But he's at 15 out of 32. He is regenerating right now, which, you know. So I am going to cast my Akiro's Favor, and then I'm going to Cone of Frost. So that will hit him, I think, because 7 up is how that works. And then I'm going to try and get the tree, and I think I use Akiro's Favor to reroll against the tree. Yeah, because I don't get the freeze. So I'm going to... What? Okay, I don't remember what I don't know what happened. I did. I think it didn't calculate Akira's favor because I revealed it too late or something.
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah,
but
the timing got all screwed up in Octagon.
I rerolled the dice for that, so got 4 damage on the tree or 4 freezes on the tree. So the minus life does not work on conjurations
Oh really?
or non-living things. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. I think it's creatures. With.
I thought it was. I would have to double check it. That's interesting. I didn't realize that.
But what it's doing is taking 4 damage every turn and only healing 2. So I'll kill it eventually.
Yeah.
So he's still got a Beam of Frost on him. And he's at 18 with 2 freeze. And that's going to put him at 22. So I'm just like, I can seal this, right? Can I seal this with Frost Trap and a Lightning Ring? Lightning Ring's not going to do anything. I don't know if I actually... And I'm almost at 0 damage because this Witchwood Ironbind has just been taking down the damage for me. Yeah, I changed that to a teleport just in case he decides to leave the zone. No, I second guess myself on teleport.
You? What?
Yeah. Second guess myself all the time in this game.
All the time.
All the time. There's just so many options. You got a whole book full of options, you know.
That's fair.
So I've got 2 more cards than he does at this point. I think I might be counting my mana a little bit here. Snowstorm. There we go. I don't know if I actually use that or not. Nope. I know I want to Frost Trap this turn. That's all I know I want to do. Now I think I put my teleport back up there and I'm just like, freeze is my win condition, so I have to do this. So quick cast so that when he activates, he gets 2 more freezes on him. And he's decided he's going to stand there and take it. Which, I don't know. So I'm going to get shot. I get shot really hard, too. 7 critical. 7
Yeah.
critical on that shot. And
That's a
then
rough one.
throws the hammer, and I get 2 more critical and a slam.
And even that is still fine, considering how much of a damage head start you have.
Yeah. So I think at this juncture, I reveal the Beam of Frost, hoping that my 5-up will hit him. I do 3 damage and get 2 freeze. And that is going to finish the game. Oh no, he's got one health left.
It almost finishes the game.
Almost finishes the game. And then I decide I'm going to go in there and try and punch him. Because why not finish it now? And I fail. But I think I failed to remember that I had Akira's Favor on and could have rerolled the days.
Oh man.
But yeah, anyway, that's a GG because you got 10 damage on you, and you're going to take 5 damage in the upkeep and only heal 2. So.
What a good stack there.
Yeah, and that stack, it took a few rounds to get that stack on there, but the Tundra kept them from, or it kept the damage ticking while those things were on there.
Yeah.
I think that adds up pretty quickly. So that's an example of the book working the way it was intended. And I'm going to show him that I had a nullify in case he wanted to get rid of my stuff. We can pause this. But I realized in this game that I really need to get that damage on early, because only a few enchants, and you might actually be able to do this without extra creatures. You know, like if your first turn you dropped 2 crystals and I don't know, and then second turn you did Hawkeye and Moonglow, and then you started throwing lightning bolts at people and enchanting them, like you might actually finish the game quicker.
That's an
But
interesting idea. You gonna try that for the next one?
no, the next one I'm going to stick with the method and see if it works again. And spoiler alert, it doesn't.
Weird.
So we're going to load that one up here and get started with that. All right, so in game 2, I'm playing against Nabmaster here, and he's playing a Paladin, and of course I'm playing a Wizard. I have adjusted the book slightly. I took 1 teleport out and put in 2 Seeking Dispels. I think that's the only change I made. The plan is still the same. Get some mana, get some Storm Elemental, do some damage. But here's a Battleforge. And I didn't realize this at the time, but the right thing for me to do in this situation is to kill that Battleforge. I thought to myself, I'll just freeze him over time and the armor won't matter. But Battleforge does more than just put armor on. Especially when it's a Paladin.
Is pretty important, I think, to this particular build. But also, Aaron's a big threat, so it's sometimes tough to decide between the two.
Yeah, and that's the play here, right? I have 2 big threats. You got to deal with one of them. They both have potential to be out of control later. What are you going to do, right?
Yep.
And that is an excellent starting move for Paladin and Holy in general. Like Holy has the thing I hate the most about this game right now is Holy Mirror Match, because both of you want legendary creatures out and you can't. You've got to kill the other guy's legendary before you can get yours out, or find a way to get it out first.
Or find a way to not rely on the legendaries, but it's a little more difficult.
The legendary creatures for Holy are just so good that.
Oh, they're very good. I'm not saying you have to go that route, but
the thing about Aaron is he costs my opponent 5 mana. 5. And anything I'm going to do to kill him is gonna cost me way more mana than that. So I see this Enchanter's Ring come out, and I'm like, okay, well maybe he's just gonna dick around with his Battle Forge and not really do anything meaningful for a while. So maybe I should attack Aaron first. So he moves in here and guards, and I'm like, okay, I can do that. I'll cast Storm Elemental, and then we'll start killing Aaron. But that's not what ends up happening. He's got a Guardian Angel out next,
easy.
and then he's going to regenerate Aaron, which is the right thing to do. I put Rhino Hide on because I was worried that the Paladin was just going to run up and try and whack me. This should have been, I think, this turn. I think when I saw the Battle Forge, I should have moved forward and dropped my crystal up there, and then I should have come down here with Hawkeye and Surging Wave to try and just kill the Battle Forge in a turn or two.
Yeah.
Because I can quick cast the second one if I need to. Right? Yes, he gets another deploy off of it, but 2 Surging Waves should kill the Battle Forge. 7 dice each to do
Famous
6
last
damage.
words.
No, stuff happens. I understand.
I'm just saying, should is always one of those things where I'm afraid of it already.
Yeah. But I decided, Storm Elemental has worked really well for me last game, so I'm going to try it this game and see how it goes. Failing to remember, of course, that of all the mages in the game, the Paladin is the best at killing big creatures and has easy access to ethereal stuff. So, sneak peek on what's going to happen in the future. It's really important to remember what your enemy mage can do before you start doing your own thing.
Before you start doing it all.
So, yeah, I mean, Nab, of course, is a great player and rarely makes this mistake anyway. So, and I'm playing this book for the second time ever, and playing this wizard for the second time also. So it was bound to be a learning experience no matter what. But the lessons learned are going to be really important for the future. If anybody wants to play a mage like this or something like that. So I finally realized I'm going to need Hawkeye if I'm going to do enough damage here. And I'm going to get Stormy on the move. So he's just healing that Aaron up like he should be. And Temporal Aid. And of course, Guardian Angel's going to jump in the way. And I think to myself, Guardian Angel, 1 armor, defense is. So
yeah, Nab does a good job with this particular move in that he's spreading damage out as well, which is exactly what he wants to do to you.
Yep.
Because you have high damage potential, but if it's not concentrated, it won't do anything.
Right. So Guardian Angel jumps in the way, tries to use the defense, succeeds at the defense. So Stormy does nothing this turn, which is pretty frustrating. And then he's going to run up at me, and he's like, and I'm just like, okay, you were there. You were protected. You're not protected anymore. What are you doing? But I'm fairly certain he's convinced that if I kill this, his Battle Forge wins him the game. If I don't kill this and attempt something else, then Aaron's healed and ready to hit me. So I am actually expecting a Martyr's Restoration this turn. So I'm just like, okay, well, crap. He challenges the Storm Elemental and Valor. Oh, Valor. Valor is great when you can use it, but 1 Valor is not a big deal. 2 Valor is not really a big deal. Now, if he decides to get his sword out, Valor can be a really big deal. But it does not seem like he's going I'm going to hit you with my sword route at this point. So I decided that Stormy is more useful trying to kill things. Now that Aaron has 13 health and 2 armor and regenerate 2, he has pretty much become something that I should ignore. Or burn down very rapidly with extreme prejudice. And the problem I'm having right now is that I have 13 mana, and I cannot Acid Ball and Lightning Bolt and Hawkeye. I'm 1 mana short. So I've got to come up with another thing that I can do. I'm planning to Acid Ball because then he doesn't have 2 armor, and anything I do to him is going to do extra damage. I contemplate whether or not Freeze counting as damage will make it so that he can't actually get his melee tokens. But I don't actually ask that question. I decide that I'm just not going to worry about it and do something else. I think, right? I guess not. I did prepare Frost Trap. So there's a deploy. And I'm deciding whether or not I'm going to quick cast. I decide I'm going to quick cast just in case he has martyrs. Maybe I can do enough damage here with Hawkeye. I get the worst acid ball roll in the history of acid ball rolls. No damage and 1 corrode. So that didn't work. Now, if it had worked, still might not have been enough. So I needed a lot of follow-up damage to take care of this guy. And I think this is the reason that M-Master put Aaron out here. Is because he knows that if Aaron's job is to soak damage, that's his job. And he is fantastically doing his job right now. And the Guardian Angel's there to protect the Battleforge and the Paladin if I choose to ignore Aaron, which is what I should be doing. So I move away from the Paladin and give him a Valor, and I stun Aaron, which is great, but that doesn't turn off his regen. So he's going to be at 4 damage next turn. Yeah, and I think I punch Aaron this turn instead of Frost Trapping. I decide if I Frost Trap, he's still got 5 health left when he activates. And he's going to activate first next turn, so he'll lose. Anyway, yeah, Frost Trap only does 2 damage at this point. So I shouldn't. I should punch instead. But I put Frost Trap on.
To switch into attacking Aaron when he's I don't want to say all the way, he's activated, but he's such a damage soak, especially in this situation where he can heal 3 a turn.
Yeah, no, I think I don't count on Hand of Vimshala in the equation as much as I should. So Era's Pillar of Righteous Flame, everyone's favorite. I kill your stuff card. I actually was blindsided by Pillar of Righteous Flame, which was stupid because I know all about it and how everybody uses it. And so my Storm Elemental only has half health, and
Stormy's having a rough day.
Yeah, he's having a bad day, and that represents 27 mana for me, which is insane. Right, plus upkeep, so it's about 30 at this point.
Yeah.
And so he's killing it with a 9 mana spell.
And even if he adds more to it, he's still going to come out ahead mana-wise.
Yeah, he's still going to come way ahead mana-wise. I just don't have the ability to protect Storm Elemental this turn. And I need him in order to do damage.
This is the damage split, right? So that you split your damage between things that heal rapidly, whereas he's concentrated his damage on the big thing that you have invested in.
Right. So this is going to be a massacre. Well, yeah, it's something that you should be aware of. Your strategy can be derailed very quickly. It was after this game that I realized if I'm going to fight against an aggressive mage like a paladin, I should probably be able to get counter-aggressive really quickly.
But shift those gears.
Yeah. So if I start the game with 2 crystals, that's not necessarily the best choice. I might want to start with 1 crystal and a Hawkeye, and then another crystal and something else.
Or even a crystal and a Battleforge so you can have help.
Well, I don't have Battleforge in this book.
That's fair too. I'm just spitballing ideas for those who own an idea.
Yes. So Crystal Forge was a classic opening for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And there's reasons for that. You can flex into more economy, or you can flex into defense, or you can flex into offense, which is just really helpful. Um, and what do you have after that? 13 mana, and then you gain 11, so you're at 18 mana with one on a forge. But that was when people had 9 channels, so you had 17 mana on one on a forge. 16. I don't know. Yeah, something like that. So here, his Battleforge gives him Mage Staff. Totally cool. Lets
Yep.
him hit things in the sky. Definitely worth putting in your book if you're going to be melee focused. And here
Especially
I'm
if you're
just like,
meleeing.
I want to turn off that regen.
Element.
So I cast Deathlock, and I'm just like, maybe casting a Deathlock down here will make it so that he wants to hit that instead of Storm Elemental. No, no, he's
Of
doing the right
note,
thing.
if you were going to do that, I would have done it the turn after Aaron hit the board.
Right. So that's another thing. If I had not cast Storm Elemental, but had actually cast Deathlock first, those are other things I could have done. And here goes Stormy. A hit from the Mage Staff and
Now,
a
of note,
Luminous Blast.
it did cost a bit of extra money. So if you look at the mana for Righteous Flame, look at the mana for Luminous Blast, and the mana for the staff.
It's 18 mana to kill a 20 mana creature.
So it's not quite as bad as we were talking about earlier, like in terms of huge advantage, but also fewer. Well, I say the actions kind of evened up because the Battle Forge helped. It's not a linear comparison, but it's not quite as bad as it was earlier when we were talking about it.
All right, so this time I think to myself, all right, now I've got some damage on him, but it's just 2 damage. Like, it's just 2 damage. This is terrible. Like, Guardian Angel's whacking me now. I can reveal Rhino Hide, so I take less damage, which is great. But it's not going to do it. As long as he's got a Rust in there, I'm sunk. Or he just might count on having Bear Strength, Hand of Imshallah, and just throw 7 dice at me and not care about my 2 armor. You know, if I keep beating down on the one thing that's doing the least amount of damage to me, then I'm not winning this game. So, and really, this is a great play by Nabmaster. Like, he knew that he had the option to just run in here and become aggressive immediately. Especially, I don't know when he decided to do that, but his Aaron in here took the heat off of his other stuff. And when I failed to even do enough damage to Aaron, he was just like, all right, I'm all in. And there you go. You turn on a dime and
I
start
believe he
whacking
was
stuff.
planning to melee the Stormfront when he put the challenge on it. And that was a
Yeah.
couple turns before he ended up doing it. So I think it may have been part of the plan.
Sure. I mean, eventually. But I don't know if so that was that one turn. He was down here and he moved 2 instead of casting his other spell and dropped Pillar of Righteous Flame. I think knowing when to do something like that is really important. Like, that was the right
I agree.
choice. I don't even know what his other spell was. It could have been great, but it was not great in that situation. He had the opportunity to drop 12 dice on my Stormfront Elemental just by sacrificing one of his spells. And that's good. That's a good choice. Now I have to weather all these attacks and figure out how I'm going to keep doing damage here. I realize that the Paladin can't get to me this turn, but so I'm going to try and Cone of Frost. I enchant Aaron. Why did I enchant Aaron? Oh, so I could melee attack and then reveal. So my melee attack completely whiffs, and then I'm going to Cone of Frost to try and. I was going to try and do the 9 damage that I needed to do here. So I get 5 of the 9 damage I needed.
It's a little lower than you were hoping for, but
Yeah. Well, I'm only throwing 6 dice with a freeze chance. So, and I mean, at this point, I should probably just concede because I got a ballista bolt to my face. But I wanted to try some things and figure if I see if I could at least make it a better situation than it was before. So I realize I'm going to take a ton of damage this turn if I don't do something about it. So I realize that Frozen Tundra requires a full action to leave. So I'm thinking I'll weather another round of attacks and then drop a Frozen Tundra in here and then leave, right? Or leave and drop a Frozen Tundra. And that way they won't be able to pursue me for at least one turn. And maybe I'll be able to do something. But yeah, that doesn't really work out very well here. So of consideration to me at this point is maybe some walls or something like that. Walls might be useful to me in the future.
so there's a frost wall. That'd be fun.
That would be
I don't know
fun.
what good that would do, but it'd be kind of funny.
The other thing being uh, a wall of poison gas might keep people from leaving a zone that has tundra in it. But it's only if they can be crippled. So this is where my deathlock is really bad for me because I have a heal in my book and I can't use it.
Oh no, backfired.
Yeah. And I don't do enough damage. I need to be throwing lightning bolts and trying to kill things as fast as possible. I'm very stingy with my attack spells. I want to make sure that I have them when I need them, but I don't use them when I have them. So, and then I see that he's got another die coming. And I'm just like, oh crap. I'm going to put this armor on now and hope that it does something. So, actions phase. Here he comes. Rolling a ridiculous number of dice. Getting only 5 damage. But he's going to reroll 2 blanks because he challenged me during the upkeep. So I'm going to take 2 more damage.
Woof.
Thankfully, that 4 armor saved me. Now the ballista is going to negate most of my damage. Yep. The ballista gets an insane roll.
What?
Yep. And then a
hit.
flying sidekick.
Kick you.
Just
kicking you while you're down.
Yep. It's so bad.
Oh no.
So yeah,
kick to the face.
That was some severe smackage. So I decided I'm gonna leave now and make it so that these guys can't hit me this turn. But it's not gonna matter. It's just not gonna matter. All he has to do is throw a boulder at me in the upkeep and I'm done. So, or not the upkeep, but the quick cast. I mean, I do have 4 armor on, so maybe not. But I don't even know if I managed to kill something here. I think I maybe teleport away and then throw a lightning bolt at Aaron or something. Oh, maybe I nullify myself and then throw a lightning bolt at Aaron. Because I don't want to be pulled back into the paladin zone. Oh, I'm just like, all right, I'm going to hit you for something.
Screw it, we're going down swinging.
I get a good roll and a stun, but it's not going to do much to me, to keep me alive here. And here comes the Guardian Angel with 4 dice. I believe he gets another amazing roll. Yep, 4 crit damage, and I'm gone. So, yep. So nullify was the correct choice there because he was going to do something to me. But nah, he had a nullify on too because he was fighting against a Sistarran Wizard, and Master knows all about Sistarran Wizard and her shenanigans. So, yeah. So that was a game. Somebody would probably say something to the effect of, "I got diced here." But that's not really what happened.
Yeah,
I
well, the
got
dice were
I
a
got
bit heavy
outplayed.
there. Yes, that was not the thing that decided it, I don't think.
No, I got owned, as they say. So, but I after some discussion with Nammaster here, I decided to make some more alterations to the book, which I will talk about next time. So I hope you enjoyed that. Hope you are learning along with us how to play the game better, since that's the goal. It's been the goal of this channel for the entire time it's existed, is to help everybody get better at the game. And well played, Nammaster. And thanks for joining me, Shark.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.